start exporting, you have to look at different markets. The big markets might not be the right ones for you.
Sometimes it is the smaller markets, perhaps closer to home, the road less travelled perhaps we should say, that will provide you with greater short-term and very realisable opportunities in a less competitive environment.
Even with all the kind of challenges of Europe at the moment, you know, it's easy and it's near, you know, don't dismiss Ireland. It's a great opportunity to start dealing overseas.
Again, that gives you the credibility moving into other countries thereafter.
Everyone's looking for the big distributor in America or the big distributor in China that's going to open you 5,000 stores or something like this. But sometimes the real bonus is in the smaller ones, the more the niche countries, maybe that the unexpected.
You never know who's going to walk onto the trade show next, whether they could be a distributor in the Middle East or a distributor for Guam, for example. So yeah, we've had examples where we've supplied into territories like Guam, which is a great duty-free area for the Chinese and Japanese. That was very fruitful and came out of nowhere, maybe somewhere that certainly wasn't on any sales map.
We got quite a lot of joy early on from smaller regions. If you've done your research well, you may find that you go into a slightly smaller region, still huge for you, and get a lot of business there. And the other thing is that I would say try your concept at least at 2 or 3 markets, not only in one. But it's very hard to focus on more than 2 or 3. You just don't have the time and the energy. And again, we try to do 2 a year, sometimes 3, and we are now recruiting for a position that will manage all the dozen we have. But again, we're 5 years later, so it's a bit, later in the day for us.
So America will be for us in about 2019, China 2020, I think. The reason for that, they are big markets. You can't go in just the 2 of us and go and give it a go. We need to put 20 people in an office and local people and really commit to it. So we've got to prove that we can already work ex-UK before we can then get the big bucks to go and open up that operation. So it's a step-by-step process. It's natural to go for the top tier because who doesn't want to work with the economists? Who doesn't want to work with the FT? But you know what? They're doing okay. So our strategy has been go to those second tier guys who are a bit hungrier, hurting a bit more open to change. They've been very receptive. And I think the same can be said for markets as well. Everyone goes to Germany and France and Italy. But you know what? Austria has been surprisingly good. Holland has been really receptive.
They're a bit more exciting, a bit more nimble, and I think you can do a lot more and your brand can stand out a lot more than in such a crowded marketplace in a massive country.
Recently we supplied an airport in Senegal. Again, it would have been easy to write that inquiry off, but it was after a few emails and a few calls, it was quite apparent that it was serious, and it did pay off. I think the value of it was £500,000 in the end.
You may not sell as much, but you could have a more profitable business which is more sustainable in the long term. So I think there are different paybacks for that.
What we've also been doing, we have been talking to the big conversations as well, so that when this is ready, we can go and hit these guys saying, look, we've got a proof of concept, now let's roll out at scale. And that's what's about to happen. So it's a nerve-wracking time, interesting.